we're going to be going over some confirmed megas from the leak all the way from March. It's actually kind of spooky how they actually predicted this all the way a few months ago. This was like literally even before the Nintendo Direct trailer came out. This was posted on 4chan. As always, we always had to take it with a grain of salt, but this time actually we didn't take it with a grain of salt. We took it with a bunch of Scovillains, the peppers from Scarlet and Violet. That is the reality of the leaks, the current state of Pokemon Legends ZA. Unless we were all under a rock, it confirmed Mega Dragonite and other characters all previously leaked. If this leak is accurate, other parts are likely true too. So it's very interesting that Mega Dragonite's description on 4chan, which was once again posted from February to March 2025, right now is July, and we just got this Mega Dragonite confirmed to be in July. But this leak from 4chan said that there would be wings on its head replacing the antenna. So that is definitely true. It did have wings on its head with a yellow body. It stayed the same color. And there's also the blue orb near the tail tip, which resembles Dragonair and the previous evolutions in the Dratini line. There's also the angel wings above the arms and the heels, like these boots from the Terraria. Terraria, actually I remember this game. I think I've seen it on Steam before. It's like this pixelated game where you had to like build some stuff, like you had to build some houses. But anyways, it's actually crazy that Mega Dragonite was really turned out to be the way the leak described it to be. Especially how the wings on the head, like who would have guessed, right? Wings on a Pokemon's head. Usually we don't see that type of things or even that type of design, even on legendaries. So this indicates that there's high credibility for these leaks. There's also another one that stated the characters, which is actually a lot more scarier. Guess what? There's one that said Corvu. Actually no, I actually don't know how to say this, but remember the crow guy? The mafia guy that had poison type Pokemon. The name, the letters that it started with are the exact same. So it's actually very crazy that they decided to just have the same type of name. I just can't believe that they also guessed that it was a mafia. Who would expect that mafia would be inside Pokemon Legends ZA, right? It's more of a city type of structure, and mafia is usually more in the ancient times. I mean, they do still have mafia in the current days, like if you play like Cyberpunk. Yeah, if you play like any sort of games, the Yakuza is more like in Japan. But there's also a lot of mafia organizations in Europe, like Italy, and Kalos is in France. So it does make sense. There was also another leak that said that Corbo is actually linked to the Kirin from Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. And guess what? Kirin from Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, the DLC, he was in charge and wanted the Loyal 3 legendary beasts, which were the Unkidori, whatever you call them. Like it's like Okidogi, Munkidori, Fezandipiti. And Fezandipiti design looks so close to Corbo. I don't know if Corbo will actually turn out to be Kirin and Carmen's dad, but since this is taking place in the future, maybe Corbo's actually the son, but it looks more like the dad because it's obviously older than Kirin. Like even their hairstyle looks very similar. It would actually match very well if they actually are like the same type of vibes, especially since Scarlet and Violet has similar graphic styles, and this leak really does prove to just be very like connecting the dots type of thing. I mean, notice that Kirin and Carmen, both of them, they always make their eyes so big, like kind of like they're crazy or like a maniac when they're angry of some sorts. And Corbo also does the same thing. He also makes his eyes very big. Another thing that they guessed correctly on the leak was Mabel. Mabel was supposedly the new professor of the Kalos region, and she isn't evil anymore, which was the correct speculation. She's definitely not evil. I mean, maybe she is. Sometimes the professors could be lurking in the shadows, but like in Legends Arceus, remember Silene, which is the ancestor of Cyrus, the whole villain that wanted to destroy everything in Sinnoh? She never was an evil person. In Legends ZA, Mabel is not going to be evil, most likely. Lysander we haven't seen yet for the trailer, so we're still waiting on that. There has been leaks where he looks like this actually, instead of just looking like the same thing he did in X and Y. He actually looks more disheveled and white hair since he's gotten old. Nobody really cares much about Lysander in this current day and age with all the other current conflicts that are going on, like Mega Evolution and some sorts of that, like the Rogue Mega Evolution and Jet. Jet is obviously going to be like the new villain, most likely. But something interesting is that there was supposed to be Canary. I don't know what that bird represents, this yellow bird, but somehow this is the promotion match trainer in the ZA Royale, and people who like Iona are going to like her. So it's like Kilowattrel. But that never turned out to be true. We still got Jacinth, which is the maid partner, who runs a tournament somehow. and uses Mega Dragonites. But in the trailer, we were the ones using Mega Dragonites. Xerosic is also very interesting because technically Vinny is like an ancestor to Xerosic. If we see their features, they look very similar and they're very bulky. But Xerosic is part of Team Flare, just like how Mabel was. It's interesting that they also mentioned that he got a tan, because Vinny is pretty tan compared to Jet is pale. Maybe that could also tie into that. Emma has been speculated for a very long time that she would be in this game, especially since the box art we saw a long time ago. And that was definitely a big green flag for just her being there. And Corbo is also the poison type specialist, which was the leader of the Rust Syndicate. So it was leaked that he would be the Mafia boss, and his ace is a Mega Scolipede. Scolipede does make sense, as we also saw that a lot of Unova Pokemon have been entering into Legend Z8, like the Scrafty, Elemental Monkeys, Patrat. So Scolipede, it actually would suit him a lot more, I think, compared to Arbok. Arbok is more of like a Gen 1 Pokemon. It's very iconic and it's very old styled, but Scolipede is like new, so I actually do want to see what Mega Scolipede looks like, but based on what the leaks say, it's going to become blue. Its features are going to turn more like a brighter color and neon shaped. His ace would have been a Mega Scolipede, but I'm interested to see if he does have a Mega Scolipede later on. There's also another character named Felipe. It'll be very cool if his name is actually Philippe or Philip, which is the Mafia's second in command. His ace is supposedly a Mega Skarmory, and Mega Skarmory is supposed to look golden and very sharp. It actually looks very cool, kind of like a shiny form. But this character named Philip is not named yet. We don't know his name. He's kind of more on the side. But this Rust Syndicate is indicated to have a lot of Steel-type Pokemon as their theme, since Steelix is also on the walls, as we see those Japanese-styled scrolls. There's also a statue of King Gambit. And there was also leaks before that Scrafty and Starmie were gonna get Mega Evolutions, but as we could see with Lita and Naveen, they both have those Pokemon, so that is definitely confirmed to actually have Mega Evolutions. If it's their ace signature Pokemon, then that's definitely confirmed that we could be optimistic on. Mega Scrafty is mainly gonna have a white hoodie covering Mohawk, and he's also gonna have some white pants with ribbed knees. Especially since Scrafty, he always likes to put his hands in his pockets, so it wouldn't be shocking to see him have like long pants. And as for Starmie, it's just gonna be like Patrick from SpongeBob. It's gonna have long legs, gonna have some of that purple tintish color hues, and they're gonna be kind of elegant in some way. But it's actually very nice that it really links with Lita, since it's gonna be like a dancer style, and Starmie is all about his legs, it's every day's leg day. Both characters and their designs really line up perfectly with the leak. By the way, Mega Dragalge was also leaked as a model. It lacks polish, but it's genuinely accurate to the leak description. We can see that it has more of wings now. I guess they really love their wing style in Legend ZA. So it's supposed to have wings. This actually looks kind of pretty in my opinion. If it has this type of like shiny, hollow, luminescent color, it would actually look pretty nice compared to the original design. And on the top, it kind of has those cherry looking ears like a fruit's, and its body parts are kind of like seaweed. It's just, you can't really see its face either, but overall it looks actually very nice, my personal opinion. As of now, there is a list of 26, technically 27 Mega Evolutions with the Pyro forms. Only a few have new Mega typings, like Meganium, possibly Mega Meganium, could be Grass and a Fairy type, and Clefable is Fairy Flying. For Alligator would be Dragon and Water, but Barkle is Fighting and Rock, so the others would retain their original types, and the designs come from text descriptions and lots of cool fan art. Yeah, this is like the current list, and I'm still looking forward to the Kalos starters. I really hope they get good Mega Evolutions, as Kalos is all about Mega Evolutions. If they return, I feel like everybody's gonna be so hyped, right? Like imagine if Mega Greninja returns, and Mega Delphox, Mega Chestnut. That's the one I'm also looking forward to the most. I also want to see how Mega Clefable turns out to be. Clefable is going to be pretty cool. It looks like it's going to be very bulky. Like look at how chunky it looks. Very interested, since Mega Dragonite has been kind of controversial recently. I want to see what type of new Megas they come up with, and what the audience just reacts to. It would just be very funny to see everybody's reactions. Like it's honestly just crazy that the leaks that were stated from February are so true. Like how could they even guess that Corbo would be even in the game with literally the Mafia scheme? and also the Maple. Maple is exactly from Team Flare, but there was also a lot of other team members actually. There was lots more other Team Flare members. I feel like Maple was not really a memorable one for me. I remembered more of the one that was in a white suit, the cool looking girl. I forgot her name. She was a Team Flare admin, but she was a cool woman that looked swaggy. And also the bald guy. I'm surprised the bald guy isn't in there. Maybe the bald guy could be something like a supermarket worker. You never know, Pokemon likes to surprise us with a lot of ancestors that are lurking in the shadows. We never know what could happen. And the Pokemon Center lady, I just want to point this out. The picture, I actually just saw this today. It actually looks very nice. Like, I'm glad they didn't change the Pokemon Center lady too much into like a completely different weird person. They always retain the same look. Like, she looks very nice and has those two pink pigtails as always. So I'm very glad that they kept this. It looks very nice, and the potions behind look very satisfying. Like, it's very high quality, and the Pokeballs are aligned very nicely. So I really like how Nurse Joy is just in this game still. Thank you all for watching. This is what we know of Mega Evolution leaks so far in Legend ZA. Subscribe for more updates. I'm going to be posting more videos, and goodbye.